What is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and welcome back to Forza Horizon 3, where we're going to be talking about some Forza Horizon 4 screenshots that you guys may have missed. These were also leaked about a day and a half ago now, and I wanted to go ahead and show them to you guys. Now, of course, day and a half ago is subjective if you're watching this video at a later date other than the day that it was posted, but I do want to get across the fact that these screenshots are beautiful, and that's why I'm showing them to you guys. They're absolutely gorgeous, and they do nothing but get me hyped for the game. So, without any further ado, we're going to begin with this awesome lineup of cars. Now, here we see a massive variety of cars with everything from the Mclaren Senna to the Hoonigan RWB Porsche, the BMW iZeta. Back there in the back, we have the Mercedes Unimog. We also have the Volvo Iron Knight racing truck. We have a Holden Maloo. We have an Ariel Atom. We have an Aston Martin Vulcan. We have a London Taxi. We have a trophy truck. We have a Fiesta rallycross car. We have like a classic Charger RT. We have literally all the makings of an incredible racing game here in this screenshot, and I can't wait to roll in a crew like this in the full game. It's going to be absolutely just wild, just absolutely wild sight to see. Now, another screenshot that really kind of got me very interested was this one right here of what looks like a Honda Ridgeline trophy truck jumping off a cliff. That's just wild. I mean, I don't know why you would jump a Honda Ridgeline off a cliff, but there you are. And of course, that means you can jump anything off a cliff. So if you want to jump the PLP 50 off a cliff, feel free. Now, next up, we have this Mustang right here, and you can see it's kind of blowing through like a speed trap, speed zone area. Next, we have this gorgeous group of supercars, and then following that up, we have this gorgeous shot of an F-Type and a Gallardo Superleggera. Now, I spoke about the PLP 50 earlier, and I can't just speak about it without showing it. There it is in all its glory. I mean, what little of it there is, but honestly, it's going to be absolutely glorious driving through fields in a freaking PLP 50 in Horizon 4. I mean, that's going to be, not only is it going to be wild, but I have a, what I think to be a pretty solid prediction of it being a pretty early on barn find. With how much stuff we've seen about it, I have a feeling that it's going to be one of the earliest barn finds we're going to find. That could be wrong, but I'm feeling pretty good about that prediction. Now, if muscle cars are more your thing, whether they're classic or modern, here we have a Hellcat ripping through what looks to be an XP board or something of that nature. And the gorgeous mountains in the background. The insane, dude, that's, again, what I was talking about with, like, the verticality and in Horizon 4. It's just wild. It's off the charts crazy, and I think it makes for one of the most beautiful environments ever shown in a Forza game. And of course, a Horizon game wouldn't be complete without rally cars. Rally cars, like, for example, this Hoonigan Escort as well as the Beetle GRC, are both examples of how many different communities really come together in a Horizon game. They really, really do. And really, you know, looking back on those cars, they look beaten. They look, you know, covered in mud. They look torn up. Not necessarily damaged, but they look like they've been properly put through their paces, which is really how rally cars should look. This next shot, I think, provides pretty obvious evidence that the original Mini is going to be one of the barn finds. I mean, it's pretty clear that it would be. I mean, it's sitting right there in front of a barn, and I think, honestly, that's evidence enough that it would be one of the barn finds. And plus, an original Mini is like a perfect barn find for Great Britain. I mean, how could you have a game in the UK that has barn finds and not make the original Mini a barn find? Switching up to something a little bit faster now, actually a little bit more than a little bit faster, we have the Bugatti Chiron tearing through the countryside, with which actually that windmill looks like the same windmill that the guy drove under in the leaked gameplay that I posted very recently, the leaked free roam, where he was in, I believe it was an old Lancia, and he drove underneath a windmill and jumped shortly before pausing the game. I believe that it was actually that windmill. Don't quote me on that, but I think it very well could have been that windmill. Now, checking in again on the muscle car space, because I know a lot of you guys are all about the muscle cars. Here we have what looks to be a muscle car championship race that actually drives underneath one of the castles. And now, we've seen that castle in some of the preview gameplay, but we haven't really seen it that up close. And it's cool to see some of these landmarks up close because, and also to know that you can drive through them, reinforces, I think, the cool factor, because once they become a integrated part of the world, then they become involved in gameplay, and that really creates more depth. Now, this next shot really brings some heavy hitter cars into the mix. We've got what looks like either a brand new GT2 RS or GT3 RS. I think it's a GT2 RS, and a Hennessy Venom GT, as well as a Koenigsegg Agera. And I'm not exactly sure what we're in. I don't recognize that dash, but I'm sure it's something crazy if it's in a race with cars of that caliber. Keeping up with the night theme, this Silvia with the boss kit looks ridiculous. And honestly, looking through at the sky and the way the headlights glow and the way the shadows reflect off the road, that's something that I noticed in the recently leaked gameplay, and you could genuinely tell that they've upped their game in terms of reflections and shadows. Moving on to one of my favorite modern sports cars, the Porsche Cayman Gt4 is here, and obviously it's here in a big way, in a gorgeous color, but the environment here is not only you've got this, like, this clear sky, it looks like it was taken in probably summer, because it's a little bit, well, maybe actually in spring, because it's a little on the cloudy side. It's a little on the cloudy side, and you can see just sliding past that farm field. It looks so smooth. But that is going to be, I think, still either spring or summer is going to be my favorite season. Probably summer. Also, in this shot of a Ferrari 488, you can see what looks like the trees over on the left kind of blowing in the wind, like just a little bit. I don't know if that's actually going to be a big thing, but they don't look like they're standing up perfectly straight, and it looks like you can really, you can really see some movement there, and the sun reflecting off the car is just beautiful. Now we're going to transition into a shot that's clearly, most definitely in fall. Now, the reason why, I mean, you can look at this shot and tell that you're like, yeah, that's fall, no doubt. Fall is definitely one of the seasons where in-game you can definitely look at it and say, yep, that's fall, no question in my mind, no doubt about it, that is what it is, and just you can be like super sure about it in screenshots or whatever. And honestly, I think it's going to be a really fun season because it's going to bring a lot of color with it. It's going to bring a massive color depth to the world, and it's going to change up the world almost as dramatically in a visual sense, I think, as winter does. Now, this shot, I'm actually going to leave it up for a minute because this is the Festival Drag Strip. Now, the Festival Drag Strip, I am excited for many, many reasons. One, because if you're just hanging around at the festival and one of your friends rolls up and he's like, dude, my car's faster, you're like, okay, well, let's go to the drag strip. It's right here. So that's not only that, but it provides an amazing place to take pictures. It provides an amazing place to group up and just have fun. It provides an amazing place to just test your car, to speed test your car. And to be honest, it's one of those things that a lot of people asked for, but when they brought it to the game, they brought it to the game in such a way that people may not have asked for the drag strip to be in the festival, but it's something that I think we didn't know that we wanted, and then we all saw it, and then we were like, oh, wow, holy crap, that's a great idea. And also, this next shot here, the top hat, needs to be mentioned. We need drift battles with top hats. That needs to be a thing. For whatever reason, I'm not exactly quite sure why that reason exists, but it does, and it needs to happen. One shot that I think is definitely representative of what you can achieve in the game is this Ferrari 250 California sitting in front of Edinburgh Castle. That, for me, is one of those shots that's like, okay, so this is what we have to shoot for in the game. This is what we're shooting for. This is what we're going for. This is kind of like game goals. And I'm still debating on how long it's going to take to get to Edinburgh Castle as far as owning it. I'm sure there's going to be someone that's going to have it within like the first 24 to 48 hours, but I'm not sure if that's going to be like, I'm not sure how difficult it's going to be. I mean, I hope it's actually properly difficult and that it takes some proper grinding to actually get to it. Now, if you thought the Australian cars were going to go away after Horizon 3, yeah, no. They're here. They're here. Not only did we see the Maloo in that first screenshot, but we also see this Holden Monaro I don't remember exactly which specific one this is, but for reference, we know this in the US as the GTO. So it's really from that same era, and it's just a big, heavy V8 brute of a car. Now, carrying on into a shot that I think is very interesting, take a look at these classics rolling through the woods, but mainly I want you guys to look at how much deeper the colors are than Horizon 3, but also all the rays of light and the shadows coming through the trees. You can see a lot of depth and a lot of detail in this shot, and the more you look at it, the more little details you pick out. And for somebody that's very detail-oriented, looking at this shot definitely shows how much of a step up and a step forward Horizon 4 is visually. And of course, what Forza game would be complete without a hero car? And that hero car that I'm talking about is, of course, the Mclaren Senna. Now, the Mclaren Senna, I know a lot of people have mixed opinions about this car, but after I saw it in person, it really changed my opinions on it. And also considering the fact that I love cars that are designed for function, I love cars that are designed for a purpose, and this car was designed for a purpose, to stick to the freaking road. And that's what it does, bar none. It was designed in a wind tunnel to do just that, and I think its functionality is its beauty, frankly. And no matter how goofy some angles of it might look, they all work, and they're all there for a reason. Now, to finish up, we have a few different shots here. We have a GT350R and a AMG GT, and then up next after that, we have this beautiful, beautiful Porsche 911. And then onto that, we have the M5, and then after the M5, we've got a Alfa Giulia, which is actually really gorgeous car. It looks like it's been lowered, too. It looks like it's been almost slammed. And then finishing off, we have, again, the Traxxas trophy truck. So, if you guys enjoyed this video showing you guys some of the leaked screenshots that you may have missed in Forza Horizon 4, don't forget to slam that like button. Tell me in the comment section below what you guys thought of it. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that, that bell to be notified every time a new video goes live. And I'll see you guys next time. Talk to y'all later.